In this lecture, we will try to understand data types in Java programming language. Data types. Data types specifies the different sizes. Different sizes. I will repeat. Data types specify the different sizes. I can say not only sizes, values. Different sizes and values that can be stored. That can be stored in the variable. What is variable? I already discussed about variable in my previous lecture. This is important. This is used to specify different sizes and values. What does it mean? For example, if I say int a equal to 10, in this one, this int is known as data type. What it specifies? It specifies sizes. Sizes means how much memory this particular a needs. That's known as size, whether it is 2 bytes, 3 bytes, 4 bytes, like that. And values, what type of values one can store, that who will specify? Our data type will specify. For example, in the case of integer, which numbers I can store? Integer means, what is the integer set? 0, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3. These are integer numbers. Once if I say int, I cannot store 10.5, 6.7, isn't it? Something like that. Anyway, we will try to understand in detailed manner. Time being, just understand there are two types of data types. I can say first one is primitive data types. First one is primitive data type. My second data type is non-primitive data type. What is primitive and what is non-primitive? We will try to understand. The primitive data types include Boolean. What is Boolean? We will try to understand. Char. Char is a data type. Boolean is a data type. Byte is a data type. Short is a data type. Int is a data type. Long is data type. Float is data type. Double is data type. All these data types comes under primitive data type. What about non-primitive data types? The non-primitive data types include class. Class is non-primitive data type. Interfaces, classes, interfaces, class, interface, class, interfaces, I can say classes, interfaces, arrays. In this lecture, yes, we will try to understand arrays in next lecture. These are broadly, I can categorize them, primitive and non-primitive. I will discuss about what is class in my future classes. I will discuss about what is interface in future classes. Of course, maybe in my next lecture I will discuss about arrays. Time being, just try to understand this is categorization of data types. We will spend lot of time on these data types, how it works. We will try to understand. If you speak strictly, I already discussed this one. Data type specifies the different sizes and the values that can be stored in the variable. There are two types of data types. What are they? Primitive and non-primitive data types, isn't it? The Java programming language, I can say it is strongly typed language. We will try to understand what is strongly typed language. First, let me say there are 8 types of primitive data types. 8 types of primitive data types. 8 types of primitive data types. What are those 8 types of primitive data types? First one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one, seventh one, eighth one. These 8 are known as primitive data types: Boolean, byte, char, short, int, long, float, double. All these are primitive, 8 types of primitive data types. If you speak strictly, just observe this one. If I say Boolean, what is the meaning of Boolean? What does it mean? As I told you, Boolean is a data type, isn't it? What is the default value stored in Boolean? I can store. What is Boolean? Boolean is a data type, is used when particular condition is to be tested during the execution of program. What does it mean? We will try to understand. We will see with simple program. It can have, Boolean means what? What type of values it can store? Boolean data type can store, I can say like this, it can have only one of two possible values. Either it can store true or it can store false. Boolean means either it can store true or you can store false. This type of data type you cannot find in the case of C, C++. We don't have any data type of Boolean data type in C, C++, whereas we have Boolean data type in Java programming language. What type of values one can store in Boolean data type? Either I can store true or I can store false. If I specify Boolean space B, otherwise Boolean space Kukatpalli. Let me say Boolean space Kukatpalli. What does it mean? Kukatpalli is Boolean type variable. Just I am declaring Kukatpalli as a Boolean type variable. By default, I am not storing in this Kukatpalli variable false. How many possible values are there? I can store only two possible values in Kukatpalli variable. What are those possible values? Either I can store true or I can store false. If I am not storing, just I am specifying data types. By default, what will it store? It will store false. That's what it says. Boolean default value means just if I declare. Declaring means if I say Boolean space B or Boolean space A, that A will have false value. How much memory it consumes? It consumes from 1 bit of memory. That's what we were saying. What is data type? Data type specifies what values one can store, what is the size. That's what it says. Just see what values I can store. Boolean data type, I can store true or false. What is its size? Its size is 1 bit. In similar manner, char is a data type. Let me say Boolean type is denoted by the keyword Boolean. Here you must understand Boolean is a keyword, char is a keyword, byte is a keyword, short is a keyword, int is a keyword, long is a keyword, float is a keyword. Then what is keyword? Keyword means which has got some predefined meaning. Keyword means what? Which has got some predefined meaning which cannot be altered. It has got some predefined meaning which cannot be altered, which cannot be changed. That is keyword. All these are keywords. System can understand. Keyword means if you say it can understand, system can understand its meaning. Boolean type is denoted by the keyword Boolean and uses only 1 bit of storage, I can say. All the comparison operators return Boolean type values. Comparison operators means I will discuss about operators. Till now we will discuss what is operators in future classes. Just time being understand data type means what it specifies, what possible values one can store, what is its memory size. Char is a data type. We already discussed about char data type in my previous lectures. Char is the data type that is used to store characters. What is the use of this char data type? I can store characters. What are the characters? I can store A to Z, capital A to capital Z, small a to small z. Even in character type, I can store numbers also. I can store 65. But 65 will be treated as character. How one can store numbers in characters? Why I can store number 65? Just make an experiment in demonstration. Just store 65, 66, 67 like that. Just check. Even just check what happens if you store 65.6. Just you have to make experiments. We will see in demonstration. Yes, what it says, char is the data type that is used to store characters in Java. Char in Java is not same as char in C or C++. This character data type C in C++, it is different from Java. In C or C++, char is of 1 byte. In the case of C programming language, or in the case of C programming language, char occupies only 1 byte. Whereas in the case of Java programming language, it needs 2 bytes. I already discussed about this char data types. 2 bytes 2 bytes in the sense it occupies 16 bits. 1 byte means 8 bits. Java uses, I already discussed, Java uses Unicode. Unicode to represent characters. Unicode defines fully international character set. What is this Unicode? It is international. I am recalling my previous class. International character set. What is international character set? It is a character set where I can find all programming language characters like Telugu, Marathi, Greek, Persian, Thai, Hebrew, Cyrillic, Kannada, Japanese, Chinese. I can find all characters in this Unicode. Why? Because let me recall it again. As 16 bits means its range is 0 to 2 power 16 minus 1. It is 0 to 65,535. It's a big range. Whereas ASCII range is 0 to 255. Why? Because it is 0 to 2 power 8 minus 1, that is 0 to 255. ASCII is always subset of Unicode. Yes, that's what we discussed about this particular char data type. In similar manner, byte is also data type, short is a data type, int is a data type. All these are different data types. We will try to make use all these data types in my future classes. For example, byte means what type of values I can store in byte variable. What is a range? Range is minus 128 to plus 127. What does it mean? If I declare a variable byte space some Sri Kiran, let me say byte space Sri Kiran. Sri Kiran is a variable whose data type is byte. In this Sri Kiran variable, what values I can store? Range. I am saying this one is range. What is the meaning of range? Range is this is minimum value, this is maximum value. You may ask me, sir, how you get these numbers? You will get in future, you will get a subject known as computer organization where you can understand all these things. This lecture may not permit me to discuss this range. Just time being, understand byte space Sri Kiran means Sri Kiran can hold only values in between minus 128 to 127. If you want to store more than 127, Sri Kiran variable cannot support. For example, in similar manner, short is a data type. Short is data type. What is a short data type? This byte, how much, what is the size of this particular data type? 2 bytes. For example, if you want to store the range of this particular data type is minus 32,768 to plus 32,767, something like that. If I declare short space Preeti, let me say short space Preeti. This Preeti is a variable whose data type is short, where I can store any value in between minus 32,768 to plus 32,767. In similar manner, long is a data type, float is a data type, double is a data type. What is the difference between float and double? What is the use of this float data type? Float data type size is 4 bytes, where I can store real numbers. Real number means 10.56, 6.78, 9.67, something like that. If you want to store bigger real numbers, you can make use double data type as it consumes 8 bytes. Anyway, I will spend enough time on these data types. We will use these data types in every program. Yes, this is the category which I discussed. Data types are how many categories there are: primitive data types, non-primitive data types. As I told you, in non-primitive data types, string is non-primitive, array is non-primitive. Even I don't know whether you remember or not, classes comes under non-primitive data type, interfaces comes under non-primitive data types. Even if I speak so many things about this chart, you may not be able to follow it, but we just read this, just try to understand this this particular slide once. We will keep on using all these data types in future classes. Just try to have an idea, just try to get familiarity with these names. If you know, yes, floating point data type. Yes, in floating point I have float and double. Float, what is the size of float? 4 bytes. What is double of size? 8 bytes. That's what I have shown in my previous slide. Integer, under integer, which will get byte, short, int, long, means whether depending on if you have small integer number to store, I will declare it as byte. If you want to store little bit bigger number, range I already shown in my previous slide, just make you short. If you want to store bigger integer, more bigger than short or int, you can make use long. We will use boolean. If you want to store true true or false, just try to make use Boolean data type. Just see strictly character data types comes under numeric data type. What is the reason why people are keeping why people are keeping characters under numeric data type? We will try to understand. As I told you in my previous sessions, each character is treated. For example, we will try to demonstrate with simple example. Maybe it may not be the appropriate time to discuss all those things. In future you can understand. Time being, let me proceed further. Just see this simple program. This is simple program. If you observe this program carefully, this is class space char demo. Actually, in this particular class name, how many words are there? There are 2 words. One word is char and another word is demo. If you speak strictly, I am not following naming convention. What is naming convention? What is good practice? Naming convention is, if there are 2 words in class name, just begin each word with capital letter. If you speak strictly, if you speak honestly, I must write this class name is like this, char demo. What is the difference this one? I am keeping C capital, D capital. Why am I keeping? Char is a word, demo is a word. Each word must start with capital letter. That's how James Gosling, Nathan, Worth, Frank, Mike, all these people, Java designers design predefined classes, all predefined classes, all built-in classes. How they design? Class name must start with capital letter. For example, system is predefined class name. How it starts with capital letter? I cannot start with small letter. Here I am not following naming convention. That's what I am saying. Convention means if you want you can follow, otherwise if you don't want you need not follow. It does not make any difference. Here I have not followed naming convention, but according to convention, C must be capital letter, D must be capital letter, just to illustrate that. So you need not, if you are not interested, you need not follow. That's why I kept this class name. Anyway, this class name is char demo. We know what is public static void main string args. Yes, we already discussed about data types. Char ch1 comma ch2. I need not keep ch1 ch2. I can keep my student names as, I can keep chr char Sri Kiran comma I can write Preeti. No issue. I have two variables Sri Kiran and Preeti, whose data type is char. In Sri Kiran I can store any character, in Preeti I can store any character. Therefore here I am declaring ch1 and ch2 are 2 character variables. Character means usually what will you expect? We will expect capital A to capital Z, small a to small z. Just if you observe my previous slides, this character data type kept under numeric data type. If you observe carefully, in ch1 I must keep some character, but I am keeping 65 integer number. 65 is an integer number. In character data type I am keeping integer number. That you must understand this. I will keep in red mark, otherwise let me change color and let me keep in red mark. Just see, ch1 is a character data type. Usually I must keep either small a to small z or capital A to capital Z. That's what intuition, isn't it? But I'm storing 65. Yes, it's a number I'm storing. But here I don't have any issue. Why? Because what am I storing here? Here I am storing B. No issue. Character means B is a character. If I keep single quote something in single quotes, it's a character I am storing in ch2. Yes. Now, we already discussed what is system.out.println. What is this? What is the use of print? I am not writing ln. Just see here. Just I am writing print. It's not println. Println means after printing it will add new line. After printing cursor will move to the next line. But here I am using print. ch1 and ch2. What is this ch1 and ch2 are? This is string. This is message. This message will be displayed as it is. Just let me show the output so that we can understand. Let me change the color. Just see, if you observe carefully, system.out.println, what output we are getting? ch1 and ch2 are. Just see, ch1 and ch2 are. Are we getting ch1 and ch2 are? After I am not keeping print ln, just it's a print. Print means after printing that particular message, it cannot add new line. That's why your cursor is still here only. Your cursor is still here only. If I kept println, your cursor will be here, and this capital A comma B will come here, isn't it? Anyway, we discussed that one. Yes. Now what is this CH1? What is CH1? CH1 is 65. Observe carefully. In the place of CH1, it is not displaying 65. It is displaying capital A. This is appending for CH1. In CH1, if my CH1 data type is int, if I declare CH1 as integer type, it will be 65. Yes, that's as I am storing an integer number in character type variable, it will display character corresponding to this integer. Means capital A ASCII value is 65. This in the context of, I already told you, there is no difference between ASCII code and what is ASCII code range? ASCII code range is 0 to 255. What is Unicode range? 0 to 65,535. 0 to 255. From 0 to 255. Let me write this one, otherwise my ASCII code is 0 to 255. My Unicode is 0 to 65,535, means 0 to 255. From 256 to 65,535. What does it mean? There is no difference between ASCII code and Unicode from 0 to 255. ASCII is always subset of Unicode. Therefore, capital S Unicode is 65. Even capital S ASCII code is also 65. If I keep here instead of 65, if I stored 66, here I will get capital B. Why? Because capital B ASCII value is 66. If I keep 67 here, it will print C here. Why? Because 67 is ASCII value of capital C. If you want to know what is Unicode, anyway Unicode ASCII code is available till 255 only. If I say instead of 65, if I say some 2000 here, I will get a character corresponding to 2000 Unicode character. In lab, you can make different experiments so that you can understand. Just time being, just understand like this. What it says, CH1 means 65. It will display a character corresponding to 65. Each character is assigned an integer number. That's what I discussed in my previous lecture. Each character is stored in the form of integers. This 65, that integer is known as ASCII value in the context of C or C++, whereas in the context of Java programming language, it is known as Unicode. Let me say Unicode here. CH1 means it's not displaying 65, it is displaying A. Why? Because 65 is Unicode for capital A. For after A, for A, I am appending. This plus operator is known as appending operator. I am appending. Which one I am appending? I am appending comma. If I want to append end, I can write end in double quotes. So in that case, capital A end you will get. If you don't want to append also, it's nice. For that I am appending. Which one I am appending? I am appending CH2. What is my CH2? Sorry, actually this in output you will get small b only. Why? Because I kept capital B and executed this program. That screen I pasted here. Yes, I did a small mistake here while executing this program. I kept capital B. That's why you are getting capital B here. In this, if you want to get capital B, just I must change this. This is a small typographical error. Just try to bear with me. Anyway, in demonstration, we will try to understand this. Time being, just understand what is character. Character is a data type which consumes 2 bytes of memory. Here, let me spend few minutes. Just let me say about float data type. Let me say, just try to understand this concept carefully. Let me say float. Float is a data type. We know what is float. Float space rate equal to, let me say 4.5. Yes, how am I reading this particular statement? Am I not reading from left to right? Yes, how? Let me reread it. How can I read this? Float space rate equal 4.5. But computer cannot read in this direction. Computer will read in this direction. First, which one will it see? It will see 4.5. After seeing 4.5, system will feel it as double. If there is something like 2.5, 3.5, minus 6.5, minus 9.5, if it is something with points, system by default by default it's double. System is will be treat this number as double. But what is the data type of float? Data type of rate variable? Float. Just try to recall how much memory do we need to store float type variable. Float needs 4 bytes, whereas double needs 8 bytes. Double needs 8 bytes. Now what am I storing? I am storing 4.5 in rate variable, but rate data type is float. 4.5 is double. Double means 8 bytes. I am trying to store 8 bytes data in 4 bytes. Float means 4 bytes, isn't it? I am trying to store 8 bytes data in 4 bytes type variable. Therefore, what will you get? It will generate an error. Which error it will generate? We will try to demonstrate this one. Time being, just understand this an error message will be generated. Therefore, how can I overcome this error message? In such case, what I have to do? Float space rate equal to 4.5 f I must write. Either I can write small f or capital F. It's okay. Once if I say, how can a system will read 4.f? Oh, 4.5 f. As it is suffixed with f, it can understand that, oh, it's not double. If it's without f means it feels that it's double, and it will be treated as 8-bit size. 8-bit size you are trying to store in 4 bits, it will generate an error. But once if I say 4.5 small f or capital F, it will not generate any error. Why? Because if you suffix with small f or capital F, it will be treated as a float. Since 4.5 is a float, this rate variable is also float type only. I am storing 4.5 float type value in float variable. In that case, I will not get an error message, will not be generated. Just see here, I am declaring a variable float space price equal to 34.56. I am saying. Therefore, float space price equal 34.56. Am I suffixing with small f? I am not suffixing with small f. Therefore, in this case, it will generate an error. Which error it will generate, we will try to understand. For example, let me say double space price equal to 10.5. In this case, you won't get any error. Why? Because system will read in this direction. First, which one will it see? It will see 10.5. By default, it will be treated as double. Of course, price data type is also double. Double means it needs 8 bytes. You are storing a 8 byte size value in 8 bytes type variable only. In that case, it will not generate an error. For example, here just see double space cost equal to 34.456. In this case, error will not be generated. Anyway, by default, it will be treated as double. You are storing double value in double variable only. It won't give any error message. Let me show the output. If I execute this program, this error message you will get. Just say JAVAC, Java compiler, data types demo.java. What is my program name? The class name is data types demo. My program name is also data types demo.java. JAVAC means Java compiler space data types demo.java. If I compile, what an error message I am getting. Just understand here which type of error message I am getting. I am getting error in compilation itself. This is compile time error. I can say it is compile time error. You are getting an error at compile time. What it says, just it is specifying possible loss of precision, float space price. Just see this variable float space price equal to 34.56. I have difficulty here. Required float. What you need? You need float, but found double. That's what I told you. Required float. What is that variable name? Float space price equal to 34.56. By default, it will be treated as double. By default, it is what you have to store? Price is float type variable. Which one is required? If I want to store something in price variable, required is float, but you are storing double, 8 bytes in 4 bytes. It create problem. It cannot accommodate required float, but it is 34.56 found to be double. That's why a compile time error is generated. If you have compile time error, your code will not be compiled. Therefore, you are not getting this output. Anyway, as I told you, how can I overcome this difficulty? Just see this one. What I did here. What is the difference between this program and previous program? Just I made a simple modification. Here I kept small f. Once if I kept small f, your error message will not be generated. Just see here. This is class space data types demo. As usual, public static void main string square bracket args. Even you can write a square bracket here also. That I will discuss. Don't bother about that thing. That I will discuss in detailed manner in after 1 or 2 classes. I don't want to deviate from topic. Yes, marks is a variable whose data type is byte. I already discussed what is the range of my byte data type. Just if you recall, what is the range of my byte data type? Minus 128 to plus 127. If you want to store any value in between minus 128 to 127, better to declare that as byte type variable. In similar manner, short length equal 23. Short is a variable. I already discussed where I can store integer numbers. In which range I can store, I already discussed in my previous slides. In similar manner, int is also variable. Age is a variable whose data type is int, where I stored number 10. Width is a variable whose data type is long. Generally, long can be suffixed with small l or capital L. Float price, this I already discussed. Now, what is this message? Just observe. Marks is in double quotes. That's why how it displays marks equal to is in double quotes. Marks equal to backslash means tab. It will give some space, tab space. Just see, it's giving tab space. Appending, I am appending. Which one I am appending? Marks. But this is not message, this is variable. If I keep something in double quotes, that is message. Marks, what is the value of marks? I think my marks value is 35. That's what it displays. After that, I am appending tab. After appending, just I am writing length. Length is a message. Just see, length is a message for which this length is variable. Variable means its particular value get displayed. What is the length value here? 23. It is displaying 23. It's simple and straightforward. Just understand, if I keep something in double quotes, just see here I am keeping age equal to in double quotes. As it is, it will print age equal to. For which one am I appending here? Just I am appending age. It's not message. It is a variable. Age is a variable whose value is 10. In that case, it will display 10. I am not keeping any tab here. Just see, as I am not keeping any tab, you won't get space in between. Therefore, width equal to, I am keeping in double quotes. Therefore, I am getting width equal to. I am not keeping any tab here. Therefore, for which here it's not message, it's a variable. What is the width value? 35. It is displaying 35. In similar manner, you can understand price, so cost, all these things. I already discussed one thing. What we discussed, what is my boolean type? What is my rate? Where I declared this particular variable. If rate equal to, just see, boolean rate equal true. Just try to recall what is the default value of boolean type? False. Now I am initializing with, this is known as assignment operator. This is single equal to is known as, I will discuss about operators. Assignment operator. I am assigning true. What we discussed in boolean type variable, either I can store false or I can store true. By default, what will it hold? It will hold false. But here I am keeping true. If this is known as relational operator, this is known as relational operator. Relational operator means these two quantities are equal or not. That it will check. Relation means relational operators always returns. Relational operators always returns either true or false. Relational operators always returns either true or false. When will it return true? If that relation is correct, it will return true. If that relation is false, it will return false. Here, what is my rate? Always don't get confused in between single equal to and double equal to. Single equal to is assignment operator. Single equal to is assignment operator. Double equal to is relational operator. What is the difference? For example, let me say int a equal to 5. Means what is this? What is the meaning of this? 5 is assigned to a, isn't it? Now, if I check, if b equal to a, let me say otherwise int a equal to 5 comma b equal to 6. Let me say like this. What does it mean? A comma b are integer type variables. In a I stored 5, in b I stored 6. If b equal to a, this is relational operator. This is relational operator. In this context, a will be assigned to 5. Therefore, value of a is 5. into b equals 6 means 6 will be assigned to b. In the place of a I have 5, in the place of b I have 6. What is my b value? 6. What is my a value? 5. It will check whether 6 equal to 5. Is it true? No, it's false. Therefore, what will it return? It will return false. For example, if I say int a equal to 5, comma b equal to 5, semicolon. If I say something like this, if b equal to a, what is this? 5 equal to 5. In a I stored 5, in b also I stored 5. 5 equal to 5 true, therefore here it will return true. Therefore, if condition is true, it will return true. If condition is false, it will return false. Try to understand, this one always returns either true or false. This one will assign right side value on left side variable. Is it clear? Anyway, I will spend time on operators also. Time being, just let me proceed. This I am assigning true to rate variable. Rate. In rate, which one do you have? I have true. What is this? This is relational operator. This is double equal to. True equal true. True equal true means correct only. Therefore, if is true, yes, we will discuss about also what is if, what is else, what is for loop, what is while loop. Those things I will discuss. Time being, just bear with me. Why? Because I want to demonstrate about data types, so that I am using if else. Just timing being understand. Yes, true equal to true. If it is true, else will not get execute. If else means if this condition is true, if part will get execute. If condition is not false, if condition is not true, then else part will get execute. In this case, true equal true, therefore else part will not get execute. Don't worry about these statements. I will discuss about these statements after 1 or 2 classes. Just say this one, system.out.println mango rate is high. In output screen, what we are getting, mango rate is high. This is simple and straightforward lecture. Just go through it once. If you have any difficulty, please keep a comment. Thank you very much.